IF30 don't have the best relationship with my husband's mom. Since day one she tried to make remarks and compare me to her. She then tried to get on my good side and started overly praising everything I do and sometimes even copying me, like that one time when she literally dyed her hair purple just like mine, and when everyone pointed out how ridiculous she looked, she actually blamed me and accused me of trying to make a joke out of her. So, anyways, my husband and I took 2 weeks off work to go visit some places out of the country, tourism in other words. Thing is, I was the one who saved up for and arranged for the trip. My husband was responsible for booking the tickets. My husband's mom wanted to come along and threw temper tantrums when I said no. She called, texted, sent people to talk to me into letting her come, even threatened to call the police and make some complaint up to get us to stay if she can't come. My husband said we should just take her, but I told him he was wrong to tell her about the trip in the first place. He gave me an ultimatum. Said he wouldn't go if she can't come, and I told him I'd gladly call his bluff, which made him take his words back and say, fine. I will tell her to stop it because we won't take her. Things got quieter, suspiciously quieter. The day of the trip came and we got to the airport at 2 p.m. My husband was walking ahead of me and was looking left and right like he was looking for someone. I asked him, but he didn't respond. He led me to the waiting area and first thing I saw was his mom standing there with her luggage. I froze in my spot. I felt a cold wave washing over me and I was fuming inside. She and my husband were hugging. That's when I quietly turned around and started walking towards the exit. My husband followed me while shouting at me to stop. He tried to stop me, but I told him off the harshest way possible. He tried to say I was overreacting and that his mom was there anyway, and I should let it go and not mess the trip up for us. I told him he and his mom could still go and that I was going home. I went home and sobbed into my dog's fur for several minutes. Turned out he booked her a ticket without me knowing. An hour later he came home yelling and raging about how pathetic and spiteful I was to walk out and go home and ruin the trip last minute. I told him he caused this to happen. He said that I was being so hard on his mom, it's ridiculous. I refused to fight anymore, but he kept on berating me, then called my family to tell them that the trip was cancelled and that it was because of me. My family said that I shouldn't have ruined it for myself and should have sucked it up and done my best to enjoy. Did I really overreact? Definitely NTA. You know that if you had sucked it up and gone with them, the entire vacation would be all about catering to his mom. Whatever she wanted to do. Whatever places she wanted to go, places she wanted to eat. You'd be the third wheel on your own vacation. You were absolutely correct. This is exactly how I felt when I saw her standing there. NTA, you actually helped him and his mom to have the romantic getaway they really wanted. LMAO. Are you sure you want to be married to this man? What's gonna happen if or when you have kids? Is he going to let her make the decisions? NTA, and y'all need marriage counseling. I'm glad you had a dog for comfort. And if you do divorce, take the dog with you. We'll be back on here. Aida for not letting my Mill into my delivery room to see her baby be born. NTA, I can't believe he had the audacity. How spineless can someone be? He said he just wants to keep the peace, but I noticed that every time she gets her way, she expects more. NTA, divorce him. You have no idea how bad this is going to get if you have kids with this man. I can only imagine Mill being a nightmare and threatening to call the CPS on anything. Greater than even threaten to call the police and make some complaint up to get us to stay if she can't come. I mean, she can. NTA, book a ticket somewhere else to visit a girlfriend or family and enjoy your days off. Leave him home with his mommy. I still have few days off to spend, but I'm feeling both physically and mentally exhausted and don't feel like going out. This is reeking of an unhealthy mother-son relationship. NTA, by the way. My husband is the youngest. He's 27 and his mom favors him from all her other's children, which made them resent him and now me, even though they're aware of my constant beef with her. NTA, it sucks that he didn't just go on the trip with his mom anyway though. That would have given you a couple weeks to get the divorce paperwork started. Salt in the wound would have been if had gone on the trip without and cancelled all the reservations behind his back. I'd divorce this man. I'd get tired of tripping over his umbilical cord. NTA. That is an amazing roast for mommy's boys. Flat out putting that out there. Of course, I agree with you, NTA. Girl. I am so fucking sorry, but all these people in your life are not it. It seems you married a mommy's boy. WTF. You could do so much better. NTA. What the hell? NTA. Hubby lied to you and put his mother before you? I'd be looking to get out of that marriage. That would be a deal breaker for me. Things is he didn't even pay for anything. And I really wanted us to have some special time together as a couple and was really looking forward to having this trip. So much that I worked more hours to be able to save for it. NTA. Please cancel their tickets and go enjoy yourself. They didn't go. He came home and blew up on me saying it's my fault the trip was cancelled. NTA. Your husband is the pathetic one, not you. Check out RJustnomil and Just Nosa for better advice on how to navigate this. I would have looked him dead in the eye and said I want a divorce. He wants his mommy so much, he can marry her instead. Your hubby sounds like a boat steadier. https://www.reddit.com/r/justnormal/comments/77pixpose/don't_rock_the_boat. I will. Thanks you so much. Trust me, get out now. He's always going to put his mother before your marriage and it's a battle you're never going to win. This get out before he gets you barefoot and pregnant. I could never imagine throwing kids into this mix. NTA. He gave you an ultimatum no loving partner would ever put you in that position. He's a mummy's boy and she's manipulative and toxic. You have every right to enjoy a holiday with your husband without them behaving like children. You did the right thing. The next right thing to do is leave. He doesn't respect you. I didn't know he'd really take it this far and actually give an ultimate. That shook me and I'm not gonna lie, from the moment he gave this ultimate I really wanted to cancel. Surprised Oedipus and Jocasta didn't go enjoy their honeymoon after they got rid of you, face vomiting NTA. You know, I think that he's scared of her more than anything else. He didn't outright say it, but I sense this from the way he interacts with her. Look, this is some next level boundary stomping. Have you read this really old book called Sons and Lovers, by chance? Classic lit. Your hub sounds a lot like the protagonist who is in love with his mom. You sound like a hard-working, good and kind person. You can find someone that is willing to set you first in their life. 2 hearts. NTA. Not unfortunately, I haven't. But I think someone else mentioned it as well. NTA. You ruined nothing. You merely opted not to go on the trip. Your husband and his mother could have still gone. They made up their own minds not to go. So anyone in your family says you canceled the trip? Tell them no, your husband and his mother canceled their own trip and leave it at that. Accept no blame. Your family thinks you should have sucked it up? They're free to have all the vacations they want with her. Tell them that. Hell, even offer to share her contact information for their future trips if they are such experts in what is and isn't tolerable. It wasn't their call, so their opinions are worthless. You have a husband problem. Time for a very honest conversation about where his priorities are. You deserve better. I'd tell anyone who asked. I planned a trip with my husband and he brought a date. So I left. If that much. Ruined it for yourself? No. He ruined it. Sounds like you're always going to come second to this woman and no one has the backbone to so much as critique that. I am so sorry. NTA, but everyone else is. Absolutely everyone. Yes. He tells me that I'm hard to deal with when it comes to his mom and thinks that I'm not willing to work my issues out with her, but I try my best then get shut down. So NTA, this woman threatens to report a fake crime, which is extremely illegal, to ruin your trip with your husband because she was mad she wasn't allowed to come. That's how spoiled children act. Your husband then blaming you and berating you for hours afterwards is even more upsetting. I'm sorry this happened and I hope you find some closure. Good luck, buddy. Skeptical smiley face. I don't want to call the divorce card, but divorce. You told your boundaries, you said no. She crossed it. Your husband told you he would tell her no, he lied. He tried to pin you in a corner by not saying anything and bringing her anyways and got upset you refused to be a part of his little trap? And then to berate you? He's not a good man. He needs to go. NTA. Sometimes the divorce card needs to come out. And this is one of them. Only part of this I don't agree with. Up should have gone to the ticket booth, gotten her ticket changed for anywhere else. And gone to enjoy herself alone. Let husband and his mother have their romantic time together because it sounds like he married his mother. NTA for leaving, but you shouldn't have married a guy that is married to his mom. Find someone that will give you 100%. Hey, staying single is also okay. At least she'll be with someone who respects her. NTA. He booked her a ticket behind your back betting on the fact that you would just give in, out of fear of embarrassment. Regardless of the underlying issue, that's a shit thing to do. NTA glad you're directing your anger and rage at the source of your problem. Honestly, if he doesn't see what's wrong with this entire situation, then you need to rethink your future. He's still mama's little boy and will never truly be 100% your husband until he stops allowing and inviting her into your personal time. I'd suggest couples counseling, but he may invite her to that too. Although, come to think of it, that may not be a bad thing. Obviously NTA. Anyone who invites themselves on a married couple's vacation as a third wheel, then doesn't take no for an answer and just shows up to it * has absolutely no concept of boundaries. The fact that your husband lied to you in order to make this happen, tried to guilt you into going along, and didn't care if you enjoyed the vacation you paid for * tells you a lot about the person who's supposed to be your partner. I admire your steely spine, op. Too bad your husband has balls of cotton. And #X200B. NTA. NTA, run, and take the dog. If he isn't able to see the issue with this, and even blames you, he will never change. My dog is my best friend. He gets me through so much pain and sadness, even depression, by being there for me whenever I need him. I'm blessed to have him. Been 3 years since I had him and he's still excited to see me every time. You didn't overreact in any way. Anybody else notice that the person who believes that you've overreacted is always the one who has done something shitty? Anyway, by now you've realized that your marriage isn't real. Mama is number one to the mother's boy. So, what do you do next, op? I hope you make yourself number one. I think that my family were originally on my side but were just trying to get me to enjoy myself no matter what because they know how much I needed this trip and thought that I should have held on to it despite everything else. NTA. How absolutely horrible. You've been planning, saving, and dreaming of this trip for so long, and then to have your dreams dashed by the selfish decisions of your husband and Mill is beyond hurtful. You need to sit down and ask your husband why he felt it was okay to include his mother on a vacation that's supposed to bring the two of you closer together by having experiences that you could call your own. You have every right to be hurt and angry. This marriage is now hanging on by a thread. She is so NTA. What a difficult place op has to be in life. She'd have so much more fun alone. NTA. He is trying to make you feel guilty when he is the one who disrespected your boundary and lied to you. I'm sorry this happened to you.